The last question I had around was metrics. We have
Sure.
talked about how a community works, how different kinds of community works, but how will a leadership see a community? They will see the
Mm-hmm.
numbers. How do you actually project those numbers, and what are the things you actually look into it while actually giving out those to the leadership team?
So in the past startups I was consulting or I was working with, so there was like a very interesting aspect of that came into the scenario. So there would be different sort of metrics, and for that you need some time. And now I'll talk about designing communities from scratch. So there's a very beautiful model which I just thought upon, which is create, engage, and
Mm-hmm.
collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
So first stage is create all these digital assets, all these content, plan, blogs and all those sort of thing, and try posting them, because when you are going out in the public, people need to see and learn something about you, right? Otherwise they'll say, okay, this org is not credible, they are doing something, why they are doing that. And you also want to engage with those developers as well, right? And there are people who will ask follow-up questions, hey, can I learn this about this more in detail? So if you are creating a talk, creating a like a follow-up detailed blog around that, try posting that earlier and then deliver a talk, and then people will ask question, you can always direct them to your blog. And even in that blog you can give a call to action as well. So if you want to hire interesting talent, they will like, hey, we are looking for interesting candidates, if you're interested, here's my email id and here's the job link, fill that up over there. So this
Mm-hmm.
is where this create part came into the picture, comes into the picture, where you are figuring out all these nuances. Second one is engage. So now you have got content ready, and
Mm-hmm.
now you have to figure out where is your community existing, where are your potential learners, right? And
Mm-hmm.
over there, well, it can be campus, it can be communities in cities, it can be like corporate organization. Again, it depends upon whatsoever audience you are targeting. And
Mm-hmm.
then you start engaging. And even in engaging, this mvp concept which I've told earlier comes into the picture. Try testing
Mm-hmm.
out these things internally, so you can start
Right.
giving these, you can have these learning Fridays inside your organization and deliver what you have built over there and try getting feedback inside, right? And
Mm-hmm.
people will start tweeting, they'll post and all that sort of thing. Once you think you are confident enough, you can go outside and talk to different communities.
Mm-hmm.
Once this gets done, the engagement part, the third thing comes into the picture is collaborate. So you can,
Right.
so over there in that startups, in those startups, we collaborated with think tank, we collaborated with boot camps from Europe and US. They were talking about our product. We collaborated with different sort of organization, different partner organizations were writing about us, YouTubers, podcasters. They were reaching out to us. They said like, hey, we want to do this particular podcast with head of engineering or head of XYZ with your company, because before that no one has came into the limelight. And that has changed that perspective, right? So here we are collaborating with all these different stakeholders,
Mm-hmm.
right from governments to like corporates to developers to academia to like internal employees. And when this happens, it's easy for you to figure out those metrics, because in the
Mm-hmm.
process there like so many blocks have been created from data science to engineering to product to UX. A lot of buzz has been made on, it depends upon what metrics you need. So a lot of buzz has been made on social media, like all those sentiment analysis, reach and all those sort of things. If that particular team is interested in, it depends upon also which vertical your DevRel team is sitting in, whether it is
Mm-hmm.
in engineering, whether it is in product, whether it is in marketing, whether it is in sales. It depends on that thing as well. So it's not just like, okay, I'm in DevRel, this is the metrics which matters the most, but it won't be mattering most to the vertical you are in. And
Mm-hmm.
accordingly, you funnel down all these things: number of blog published, number of people reached, number of blogs have been read, interesting comments, feedback, and all you have got. And in the process as well, you wanna meet a lot of interesting community contributors who are doing a lot over there. So we can
Right.
have those stories as well, which we can
Mm-hmm.
showcase. So then
Mm-hmm.
you can have number of stories published on our channel, like all these different sort of things which are gonna happen in this way. And in parallel, you are nurturing the ecosystem in terms of
Mm-hmm.
true value give and take instead of being transactional.
Right.
So that's how I would like to
Right.
summarize this. So yeah.
That's really interesting, because ultimately when it asks DevRels, they actually focus on a few metrics that they are tracking. Your concept was very much broader in general, depending upon the program, depending upon the audience. There are different kind of metrics, but ultimately the main like the thing is about the people, right? And you have to show how people are interacting, people are present, people are engaging and having fun and interacting with the product. Ultimately, that is the major thing, and that you focused on. And I really like that kind of like explanation around metrics.